Today at Gallup MCS, I take you through the 10 basic steps that are needed to create a great paint job. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Josh with Gallup MCS. If you're a subscriber of my channel, you've probably already seen me paint before. But today, for the new people and for people who've watched me paint before, I want to take you through the steps for a good paint job. Starting with step 1 is to move the contents from the work area. Now, if you're by yourself, you gotta move something heavy, and you don't want to scratch the floor. There's a wood floor in here. You can use these Teflon sliders. So what they do is you put it underneath. You lift up a corner, you slide it underneath your foot, and it's a real slippery material, and it makes it so you can just scoot it along carpet or hard floors. As long as the floor is clean, you shouldn't have to worry about scratching it. So that's what we're gonna do with this hutch. Okay, now the contents are moved away from the wall or off the wall, in the case of the wall hangings. Step 2 is to remove all of any nails and any electrical plates. For step 3, I'm gonna bring you in a little closer. With that hutch there, you can't really see a whole lot. All right, step 3, we're going to want to go over all any damage to the walls. That's going to be nail holes. That's going to be screw holes. This wall has one molly in it. That's those little plastic things that you push in, and then it anchors the screw of the wall. And then we're going to prep those because we're going to fill them with a spackling compound. Here's that molly that I was telling you about. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this knife. I'm going to cut anything out of these nail holes that are mushroomed out so that they're sticking out. Because even if I fill them, you'll still see them if I don't. So I'm going to go do that now. All right, now using this spackling compound I got at the hardware store. I'm not sure which one I got at. It might have been Home Depot or Ace, but the stuff goes on pink, and when it dries, it's white. So it gives you a good indication when it's ready to sand or paint over. So I'll go ahead and start filling those holes now. Oh, and this is step 4, by the way. Okay, so we got all the holes filled. The next step that I'm going to do is, I don't have to do this on every job, but on this one I need to do some sanding because there are a couple high spots on the drywall that are imperfections from either a poor repair, an incomplete repair, or some sort of workmanship issue that I want to correct so that you don't see it through the final product. The sander I'm using has the collection bag for the dust. It's pretty good at its job, so I'm not going to worry too much about dust containment because it's only just a couple small little spots. But if I had to do a lot more sanding, then yeah, I would be setting up polyethylene barriers and that sort of thing. But for this step, we're going to do a little sanding. All right, sanding is done. On to step 6, which is the cleaning phase. So I just have a damp cloth here. All this is to get is the dust and debris from the top of the door casing right here, to get off of the top of baseboards, anything that might get into your brush. The dust and that collects on those will get into your brush, and it'll make it hard for you to have the finish that you're looking for. There's no real like greasy handprints or anything that needs to be cleaned off with any type of cleaners, but if there were, this would be the time to do it now. Okay, normally step 7 would be to get out the caulking gun and do any seams or cracks, but everything looks like it's ready to go. This obviously it's been painted before, and so I don't need to do that step in this case. So the next step is now I need to put some paint in a little cup and for my brush, and then start cutting all of the ceilings, floors, around the base trims and everything that's tight with a brush before rolling. Okay, just to show you what I've got here, I use this little cup thing with these replacement liners that's fit right in there. What's cool is there's a magnet here, so when you stick your brush in, it'll hold on to the magnet, so you can essentially have one hand free to, use on the ladder rung or whatever. Pretty cool. Now that all the edges are cut in and ready to go, we're on to the roller phase. First coat. First coat's on. I'm gonna let it dry for maybe a half hour to an hour, depending on, it's kind of humid today, so maybe an hour. And then usually one coat's not enough. Sometimes it is if the wall's white, but this wall is kind of a dark color. So I'm gonna give it I'm just gonna plan on doing a second coat. But you can tell when it dries if you can see streaks or variant gradients of shadows and highlights. It's pretty obvious when you need another coat, but I'm sure that's what it's gonna look like when this dries. So I don't know if that was 8 or 9 steps, I don't know. I just thought I'd share with you guys what that looks like. I'm gonna continue working through this room, and I'll get back with you here in just a minute. The painting is done, and guess what? It only needed one coat. I couldn't believe it myself until I saw it dry. Let me show you what we got here. So the wall is completely done. I put the switch plates back on, hooked up the internet again. Now, I wanted to have a discussion real quick with y'all. So when I put the screws back, I put the slot directly up and down for every single one of them. Is that what you do? Comment below if you prefer to do a different way, or if you just think I'm OCD. I did the wall continuous into the living room as well. And I think based on how this is looking, I'll probably be back to do more in maybe a few more days. But we got to move that whole entertainment system and everything to get to the next wall. And so it's just a process, but I enjoyed it and I hope you did too. Thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe and like my channel if you're into this sort of content. And then I hope you have a good rest of your week and a great weekend. And we'll see you next Friday on Gallup MCS.